My last segment for today is earnings plays. Enphase. Enphase on the story. And you know something? I don't have the answer with Enphase. I don't have the answer with Enphase. Let me write this down real quick. I don't have the answer with Enphase, but Enphase did great. They beat earnings, they beat revenue, and the stock got smoked. All right, this company continues to make money, but it got beat. So that was my first earnings story that I'm going to talk about. Mattel, which is MAT. Mattel trades higher after sailing past Q3 estimates. Now, why is that important? Well, Mattel and things like Walmart and Amazon, all of these are getting ready for the Christmas season, the holiday season. Toy sales might be going up. Mattel blew it out the water. So maybe this is a precursor to possibly higher dollar sales or more money being made because of the toys companies, all right? So Mattel did good. Doll sales were up 5% during the quarter. If they were up now prior to the Christmas season, think about it. Maybe the trend is turning so that maybe even a lot more dolls, record number of dolls could be sold. And again, I'm just going out on a limb by saying that. Another company that beat out earnings, Electronic Arts, EA Sports. It's in the game. You got to say that, right? All right, Electronic Arts beats earnings and net bookings of 1.28%. They beat revenue. Shares jumped up 4%. That was on the 29th. So that was just a couple of stocks that met or exceeded earnings. I'm going to add a couple of more. So this is the earnings side of the presentation of stocks that either hit or missed earnings. I'm going to go back to my watch list. All right, let's go add these stocks. So what reported ENPH, comma Mattel, we looked at, EA Sports, Electronic Arts. Now, I'm going to add in some earnings that hit yesterday. Altria, which is MO, hit earnings. And Apple hit earnings. All right, so I'm going to add those. So this is the earnings segment of Trending Thursday. Let's go look at them. Apple hit earnings. EA, ENPH. Who else did I say? Altria. I think that was it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what am I missing? Mattel. I didn't add, oh, there it is, Mattel. There we go, boom. So let's take a look at these stocks. That's not Raytheon, I don't want that one. Apple, trading just a little bit higher than its value, a little bit overvalued. All right, people are willing to pay a premium to own Apple. EA Sports, it's in the game, under its value, trading at 95, value at 127. ENPH, under its value, but the stock is just getting pummeled. We'll talk about that in a second. Altria, beat earnings, fairly valued. Stock is trading at 44.80, 44.80. The value is at 43.01, fairly valued. Mattel, even though it did so well, beat earnings, the stock is considered to be overvalued. We have it valued at $2.33. All right, RV on the stock. Apple, below 1. Man, as much as I love Apple's long term, the stock may not be a stock that you want to hold on to long term because of the RV below the value of 1. EA Sports, nicely high. Long term, like holding that stock for the long term with RV above 1. Same thing with ENPH. The stock is a solid stock that just gets hammered because of something happening. One, it got downgraded by somebody, which I don't think they knew what they were talking about really. A famous person in the market talked on TV about selling it and the stock got killed. And then more recently, in the most recent earnings, there was a Robinhood conference and they said something about shorting it and then the stock got hit, even though on the day that it met earnings, it beat earnings and revenues, it still got hit. All right, Altria, fairly valued, and Mattel, overvalued. All right, we're looking at relative value. Altria, above 1, it should outperform a AAA corporate bond, but not by a lot. And long term, Mattel, I'm not sure I want to hold. Safety, Apple's got a high probability of meeting or exceeding earnings. So is Electronic Arts. ENPH, even with what's going on with the stock getting beaten up, its relative safety rating has dropped. All right. Is it still most likely to beat or exceed earnings? The answer to that is yes, because it's above 1, but definitely is taking a hit. Altria, right at 1. And Mattel, it beat earnings yesterday, but look at that. That relative safety tells me most likely it doesn't have a high expectation to do that. Excuse me, I apologize for that. Let's go take a look at their graphs. One of these are a sell, one of these are a buy. Another thing about Enphase, this stock grows its earnings better than all these other stocks. 43% it grows its earnings by. As much as I love Apple, they're growing their earnings at 0%. Apple is still altogether a good stock, but they're not growing their earnings. A lot of people say it's lack of innovation from the phones. All right, you have an iPhone? Way to go, high five. There you go. All right, how many of you have iPhones? How many of you got phones on the dark side? Have, what are they? Droid. Yeah, the Droid phones. I'm just curious to know how many of you got them. All right, let's look at these graphs real quick. Where's my mouse? There it is. Let's go look at these graphs real quick. View the stock graph. All right, we'll look at Apple, 3 months. Love the equity curve, watch the earnings. Earnings is the engine that drives the stock's price higher, okay? But look at that equity curve. Equity curve looks really good. Look at today's activity, down day. How about it had some downward pressure today? Look at the long wick at the bottom of the candle. Where did it stop? Say it, Tom. Type it in the room. I'm not going to say it. You say it. Where did that wick stop today? It stopped right at that level of the 20-day exponential moving average. All right? So Tom is going to type in the room what I always say about looking at things like this. I'm waiting, Tom. Oh my gosh, Tom, you are typing so slow. Sigh. This stuff really works. That's what I'm going to say. This stuff really works. This is why we look at this stuff. All right? There you go. Barry put it in there for me already. This stuff really works, and it does. That's why we look at these stocks the way we do on the graphs. Let's go to the next one. EA Sports, a little bit of a sideways move right now, back and forth above the 20-day exponential moving average. The earnings is higher than it was 3 months ago. And, you know, people are getting into the stock. Look at the rising volume, but the stock is moving sideways. Currently above, down day to day in the market, down day to day in EA Sports. It's in the game. Let's go to ENPH. And again, man, ENPH is doing all of the things it's supposed to do right. It really, really is. Look at the stocks. Look at the earnings per share. Volume is pretty much steady. It's grown, but look at it's grown on the downward move. People are getting out of it. People are like, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to take my money off the table. All right, but ENPH is a good, solid company that's right now been subject just to some bad stuff coming out of people's mouths. Really, it really, really is. All right, but look at that earnings. You can't beat that earnings. Let's go to the next stock, which is Altria. Also beat earnings, but look at that follow through. Look at that. Right at that level of the level of the 20-day exponential moving average. Look at the earnings per share. Growing. Really is. Down day to day. People probably taking profits. Look at that run up on the stock. That's probably a lot of profit taking on a down day in the market. Last one, Mattel. All right, bouncing back and forth. Over the last 3 months, though, did have negative earnings at some point, did get back on the right track, gapped up, excuse me, gapped up, pulled back down today, but still above the 20-day exponential moving average. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.